6 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome back to the Upside. Thank you so much for tuning in on this special edition of the show. That last song we were listening to there is titled Ndi Zamshini. It's got Nomfundo Mo on there featuring Black Diamond. It's got Nomfundo Mo on there featuring Black Diamond. I don't know who selected. Was it our technical director? One did. It's like, oh, you're in KZN. We're going to make sure you're representing Abu Nomfundo Mo, Abu Black Diamond here in KZN. We are indeed at the Tembela venue. In the city of Umhlatuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal for the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, which is currently taking place from the 27th, which is today, up until the 29th on Friday. Today was day one of the TIFA 2025. There were site visits. We were seeing all the amazing projects that are underway, set to bring tourism and investment opportunities into the region of the city of Umhlatuze. And with the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, or TIFA, officially kicking off, bringing those global investors, industry leaders and policymakers to explore how tourism and infrastructure investment can drive transformation and inclusive growth across the continent. Among the key voices at this year's forum is Mr. Tshepo Makhafula, owner of Makhudu Hospitality Consultants, a respected figure in the South African hospitality and property sector, known for his expertise in valuations, feasibility studies, and strategic consulting for hotel investment. Mr. Tshepo is also a recipient of the Isandlwana Award for his contributions to property industry, the property industry transformation, and a founding board member of the South African Institute of Black Property Practitioners. He joins us now to unpack the opportunities, the challenges that are facing Africa's tourism landscape, and the excitement around TIFA 2025. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Makhudu. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks, Tebogo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You must be excited being in the hospitality space. Tell us what this TIFA 2025 means to you personally.
Tourism Investment Forum Africa is really what it's all about. Economic development in Africa is one of the most pressing points, and tourism as an industry is one of those industries in the economy that can contribute to GDP growth and jobs. And if we, as an African continent, can take care of jobs and we can take care of GDP growth, then we'll be able to tackle the poverty problem that we have. And there are many elements that go into the subject. We talk about women empowerment, we talk about youth unemployment, we talk about job creation. And Tourism Investment Forum Africa is a platform that I believe is at the forefront of tackling those massive elements that are facing politicians in our country. And that's what excites me about being here today, that I hope that my contribution is helping in contributing to this very important subject.
So I just want to know from you, Mr. T, around. I mean, you've had a front row seat in, shaping the hospitality sector amongst your other, counterparts. Talk to us about what the single most important thing is to really elevate the standard, not just for those that are in the business, but those that also want to enter and contribute and elevate for 2025 and beyond.
In property, we talk about location, location, location. And in the hotel business, we also talk about location, location, location. But in a location, you need to have capital, capital, capital. And at the end of the day, what it's all about is capital. The tourism industry, especially the hospitality or the accommodation sector within the tourism family, really relies on investors who come from all sorts of background, coming in, looking at the industry or looking at a location or looking at a market, and they say, yes, there is going to be a return for me if I invest in this hotel or this conference center or whatever accommodation or hospitality or tourism asset that is being put, to them to invest in. The individuals who benefit from this investment are, the investors themselves, or, when we talk about young people, people who are not employed, people who are wanting to enter into this industry, that capital that is being put on the table is going to help their aspirations to be attained. And that is why it is important that TIFA is here to bring investors in the same room to say, look at the projects, look at what returns you're going to be generating from these projects, but don't just look at the financial returns. Look at all the social, political and economic impacts that are going to be generated positively for the local industry, the local people that are going to be getting jobs, the entrepreneurs that are going to be supplying the hotels. And when we look at places, for instance, where there have been land claims, you have community property associations who own the land, and then the investor comes in and then brings capital to develop, whether it's a game reserve or whatever industry product it is. The entire community benefits from there. And so it's really about introducing new entrants into the industry, and therefore just broader growth as opposed to specific locations or localized growth.
We are currently in conversation, live in conversation with Mr. Tshepo Makhudu, the owner of Makhudu Hospitality Consultants, just giving us his take on the impact of TIFA 2025. And we'll continue the conversation right after this.
This August, we
All right, stand by for 40-second promo.
An unstoppable spirit of African women.
It was through NGOs and by networking.
That's you, ladies. From the boardroom to the classroom, from the marketplace to the microphone, women are leading, innovating, and transforming our continent every day.
Oh, here's to knowing that as a woman, your voice can change the world.
Your voice matters. Your story inspires. Your presence is powerful. This Women's Month, we honor you. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
It's 6 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome back to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko. Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito, with you for a special broadcast as we are still at the Tembela venue in the city of Umhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal for the Tourism Investment Forum Africa 2025. And we are currently in conversation with Mr. Tshepo Makhudu, owner of Makhudu Hospitality Consultants. I made a little blunder earlier, Mmatsheko. I made a little blunder and I apologize. Let me tell you about the blunder.
Tell us.
I made a little blunder. I said that Mr. Makhudu won Isandlwana. It was not Isandlwana. I apologize. It was
the war.
Yeah, not Isitwalandwe Award for his commitment and contributions to property in the property industry transformation. I apologize for that. So let's talk about the theme for this year's TIFA, which is tourism and infrastructure investment. For you personally, as you see it, what do you see are the most urgent priorities in this space that need to be tackled?
In broad speaking terms, when we talk about infrastructure, there's water, roads, sanitation, and I would like to add telecommunications. But I also wish to add a subject that I will call an abstract, because it's really not about spending money to create assets such as roads and bridges, but I would like to add political support in the form of tourism development as an infrastructural imperative, because without tourism development that is supported at ministerial level, it is very difficult to really get the message across to the world. So what I mean is, in tourism, we rely on people from all walks of life to come into our country and spend money at our shopping centers, at our hotels, and sleeping in our hotels, that type of thing, and going to visit our tourist attractions and spending money there, whether it's the Table Mountain and the cable cars, or going to Hartbeespoort Dam and spending time there. To be able to facilitate and access all of those venues and those attractions, there have to be roads, there has to be a transport system. However, the first point of bringing people into the country is the development, the promotion, the marketing, the communication to the world. And if a government does not spend money in marketing tourism, which is really that that communication aspect that I'm talking about, or leg that I've just introduced, then it does not become competitive enough to bring in, the level of participation by guests that is required in order to sustain the industry. And countries always compete among themselves for the same pool of travelers. And we know, if you look at the United States at the moment, tourism levels are low because there is a specific government initiative to actually keep people out as much as possible. In South Africa, we do a lot of promotion and marketing of South Africa as a venue, as a destination for travelers, be it domestic travelers, from Cape Town to Durban or Joburg to Durban, whatever, or from America to South Africa, or UK or Nigeria to South Africa. We do a lot of that, which is really commendable. And I think, going back years, I remember there was a time when the Department of Tourism did not exist as a standalone department. It was, a sub-department within the environmental or the science and technology department, or the environment department of the environment. But because of the focus that the government has taken in order to take advantage of South Africa's beauty, and the fact that we've got infrastructure, although elements of our infrastructure are deteriorating, such as roads, in certain markets, however, OAS and water, and we know what we've gone through with Eskom. However, in many municipalities, for instance, in Durban, there is a lot of infrastructure. I mean, if you travel from the airport.
Mr. Makhudu, I'm going to ask you to hold that thought.
Okay.
We just want to get our news updates. It is 2 p.m. Central African time with Jolani Tulongwepe. Then we'll wrap up the conversation right after this.
In perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories this hour is the 27th Interpol African Regional Conference officially underway, and Danish Foreign Minister summons a senior US diplomat in Copenhagen. Good afternoon. The 27th Interpol African Regional Conference has officially been opened by Acting Police Minister Professor Firoz Kachalia in South Africa. The three-day conference is underway at Century City in Cape Town. It is hosting police leadership from around the world to discuss strategies that will help combat transnational organised crime, terrorism and other emerging threats globally. Kachalia says Interpol's 5-year plan to help fight organised crime is of critical importance.
The importance of this conference lies not only in its agenda, but also in its substantive agenda, policy agenda, but its practical orientation. We are gathered here to generate solutions that are both strategic as well as pragmatic, solutions that can be implemented effectively within our countries and within the frameworks of our regional and continental organizations. Our deliberations will help to shape a more coordinated African response to transnational organized crime.
Meanwhile, retired Interpol South Africa Ambassador Andy Mashaile says there's a myriad of challenges leading. He says there is a part of law enforcement controlled by organized crime.
We have learned of a national, a provincial prosecutor being suspended, Mr. Andrew Chauke, and amongst others. And we have seen police officers being arrested in the commission of crime. And we have seen there is part of law enforcement that is controlled by organized crime.
Gender and governance expert Dr. Ditare Rabela says due to safety concerns, more women will fear to participate as candidates in the forthcoming municipal elections in South Africa. She was speaking at the IEC event themed Women Championing Democracy, paving the way to 2026 local government elections. Attendees include women in influential positions, including politicians, media practitioners, gender activists and academics. Rabela says most women fear for their safety in a male-dominated and violent political space at the local government sphere.
I have done a lot of research on women, peace and security and how lack of security affect women's participation in elections. A recent example of the attack on former KZN premier, attack on her house. What does that say to other women aspiring to be in politics? Unfortunately, the local government elections is a cash cow for politicians.
The KwaZulu-Natal provincial government in South Africa has sought to preserve the legacy of the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who died in 2023. The declaration of a provincial heritage Zulu Nation's Inkatha Freedom Party. The provincial government has pointed out that apart from his long political career, Buthelezi was also the traditional prime minister to 3 AmaZulu kings. During the apartheid era, the IFP and Buthelezi were accused of violence and links to the apartheid state, with investigations into the state providing weapons and military training to Inkatha members to counter the African National Congress. The Danish Foreign Minister has summoned a senior US diplomat in Copenhagen following reports that unnamed Americans are trying to conduct an influence campaign in Greenland. Danish media quote official sources as saying that at least 3 Americans with connections to US President Donald Trump are carrying out secret operations in the autonomous territory. The BBC's Danny Aberhard reports.
President Trump has made no secret of his desire to get control of Greenland, a vast, strategically sited Arctic territory with rich mineral and energy resources. Denmark's public broadcaster is reporting that Americans are compiling lists of pro-Trump Greenlanders and cultivating contacts with politicians and business people. Polls indicate a majority of Greenlanders support eventual independence. The Danish Foreign Minister, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, is clear, saying any attempt to interfere in the Kingdom of Denmark's internal affairs is unacceptable.
Recapping the top story this hour, the 27th Interpol African Regional Conference has officially been opened by South Africa's Acting Police Minister, Professor Firoz Kachalia. The three-day conference is underway at Century City in Cape Town. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Mwebe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
PM Central African Time. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside, the golden hour, as Mmatsheko Mosito puts it, of The Upside on Bella venue in the city of Umhlathuze in Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal, for the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, which kicked off officially today, and we'll be with you and broadcasting from the venue up until Friday, the 29th of August 2025. Catch us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And if you'd like to send voice notes, if perhaps you are in the Richards Bay area and you have been a part of the investment forum, let us know. What has your experience been so far? Any concerns? What would you like to see? What outcomes would you like to see, shine through from the investment itself? +27 63 406 9126 is the WhatsApp line. But we are still in conversation, and we're going to wrap up our conversation with Mr. Tshepo Makhudu. He is the owner, the founder of Makhudu Hospitality Consultants, and we were just talking about the impact that this TIFA is going to have on the hospitality industry, especially in the area of the city of Umhlathuze and KwaZulu-Natal at large. Let's talk about, Mr. Tshepo, have we gotten to a stage where international investors see Africa way beyond just a safari destination, especially in the area of KwaZulu-Natal?
We haven't reached saturation, though, level. Look, in terms of the numbers, what I seem to observe is that there are a lot of tourists that come into South Africa, into the whole continent, and if you had to segment them, you could almost say 90% of those visitors patronize all sorts of venues other than the game reserves. However, there's about a 10%, maybe, okay, let me say 30% of those go to the game reserves. However, the expenditure, or rather, in the game reserves, you could have a split of those 30% into 10% of them go hunting, and the rest go game and bird viewing. The hunters are the biggest spenders. Yes. They spend per shoot upwards of, tens of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
Okay. Just for the shoot, not even the accommodation. So it's really just that split. However, a lot of people go to Cape Town. I mean, I read today that United Airlines is planning to shift their flights into South Africa from Johannesburg to Cape Town.
Oh.
So you have a lot of competitiveness within South Africa. And KZN is really where it's at. I mean, all of us South Africans know in December, in Easter, during holidays, all those warm periods of the year, we all come to KZN. I was in KZN last week, and I spent the whole week, and so we do see a lot of visitors from all around the world coming to visit the beaches of KZN. And then Johannesburg, that's a place where people go to in order to go partying and living a nightlife, and that's great. However, a lot of the people that land in Joburg, they move forward. The onward trip to the Kruger National Park, to Durban, to various other places. The numbers vary. However, the impact of the visits is even more diverse. As I said, the cash cow is the hunters. But as we know, the hunting industry is mired in controversy. There are a lot of, differing views in terms of conservation versus sustainability, and but the jury is still out. There are really, juxtaposed positions on those visitors, and we will see as time goes on how that pans out. Yeah.
Mr. Tshepo, thank you so much. I think, just in the interest of time, it's unfortunate that we have run out of time, but it would have been so wonderful to find out how you've actually built Makhudu Hospitality Consultants. But for those that are perhaps interested in partnering with you or seeing who your partners are and how it all works, where can we go?
We have a website, Makhudu Hospitality Consultants. We advertise now and again. And we are available on social media platforms,
right.
And we are based in Joburg, Johannesburg in Honeydew, and we are pretty much always open to talk to our clients. We are available on the phone.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just out of interest, how long have you been running the consultation?
I've been running the consultancy since 2017. And I've been in the property industry, in particular the hospitality industry, since 1992.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a long run.
It's been a long run and a very successful one. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence and sharing the vision with us, Mr. Tshepo Makhudu, who is the visionary owner of Makhudu Hospitality Consultants, and really just a mogul when it comes to hospitality and property as sectors here in South Africa.
Thank you, and thanks to your listeners.